So you've repotted some plants lately, and now you're probably wondering what to do with all that dirty leftover leca. Leca that's got all sorts of old leaves and dead roots. Reusing leca is a great way to be eco-friendly and save some cash. But here's the thing, you've got to clean and sterilize it first. You wouldn't wear someone else's dirty socks, right? It's kind of gross and definitely not comfy for your feet. Using unsterilized leca for your plants is kind of the same thing, not fun, and can be downright dangerous for your plants because a dirty leca can have all sorts of germs and bugs hanging around. Just like you want clean socks, your plants want clean leca. Luckily, cleaning leca is super easy. In this video, I'll guide you through several effective methods to clean your leca, allowing you to reuse your leca and ensure a healthy environment for your plants to thrive. We'll cover everything from simple rinses to more thorough disinfection techniques, giving you the knowledge to choose the best method for your needs. Investing a little time in cleaning your leca pays off with healthier, more resilient plants that are less susceptible to disease. Before we dive into the deep cleaning methods, it's necessary to physically remove any large pieces of roots, dead leaves, or other organic debris from your leca. This minimizes the organic load for the next cleaning steps, making them more effective. Removing larger debris manually helps to prevent clogging during soaking and rinsing, ensuring that the cleaning solutions can penetrate the leca's porous structure more thoroughly. You can simply pick out larger pieces by hand. If the leca is particularly dirty or if the roots are clinging on stubbornly, consider letting the leca dry out completely first. The dried roots become brittle and easier to dislodge. Using a soil sieve is an effective way of dislodging any organic matter that's on your leca. Just simply squish that thing and my gosh, watch that debris fall out. Another effective way to remove debris, especially smaller particles, is through straining and agitation. Place your leca in a colander or a mesh bag with small enough holes to retain the clay balls. Rinse the leca under running water, agitating or shaking the container to dislodge and wash away debris. The water flow and agitation create turbulence that helps to loosen and remove particles trapped within the leca's porous structure and outside the leca. This method is particularly effective for removing finer debris like sand or dust that may be difficult to pick out manually. Straining and agitation not only removes debris, but also helps to pre-rinse the leca, preparing it for further cleaning steps. It's a simple yet effective technique that ensures your leca is thoroughly cleaned and ready for reuse. By taking this simple pre-cleaning step, you'll ensure that the following cleaning methods that we will discuss a little bit later in this video are as effective as possible in sanitizing your leca and creating a healthy environment for your new plants. The first method we'll explore is a hydrogen peroxide soak. If your leca isn't heavily contaminated, a hydrogen peroxide soak is an excellent and easy option. Hydrogen peroxide is a powerful oxidizer, meaning it breaks down organic matter like bacteria, fungi, and algae on a cellular level. The mechanism involved in the antibacterial effect of hydrogen peroxide ascribes to the release of oxygen-free radicals. These radicals are potent oxidizing agents that can quickly react with bacterial biomolecules, causing irreversible structural modifications and subsequent cellular death. For this method, you'll need 50% hydrogen peroxide. You can find this at hydroponics shop, but it does tend to be pricier there. I picked mine up from a cleaning supplies firm. To create the 5% cleaning solution, mix 1 part hydrogen peroxide with 19 parts water. For example, you could use 1 liter of hydrogen peroxide with 19 liters of water. Pour the leca into the solution, making sure all the clay balls are completely submerged. Let the leca soak in the solution until the bubbles stop. You could even store it overnight. During this time, the hydrogen peroxide will work its magic, breaking down and killing harmful microorganisms. As a bonus, hydrogen peroxide naturally breaks down into water and oxygen, so extensive rinsing isn't necessary. You can give the leca a light rinse with clean water to make sure all the hydrogen peroxide is gone, but it's not strictly required of course, since it breaks down into harmless byproducts. Hydrogen peroxide can be slightly more expensive than other methods. The hydrogen peroxide soak is an excellent and convenient option for general disinfection of leca, especially for lighter contamination. It's easy to use, relatively safe for plants when diluted correctly, and requires minimal cleanup. The next method we'll discuss is a bleach soak. Bleach, or sodium hypochlorite, is a potent disinfectant that kills a wide range of pathogens, including bacteria, fungi, and viruses. Before we proceed, it's crucial to note that bleach is a harsh chemical. Always wear gloves when handling it and work in a well-ventilated area to avoid inhaling fumes. To create the bleach solution, mix 1 part household bleach with 10 parts of water. For example, using a 1/4 cup of bleach with 2.5 cups of water. According to the Laboratory Safety Manual published by the World Health Organization, a general all-purpose lab disinfectant should have a concentration of 1 gram per liter available chlorine. A stronger solution containing 5 grams per liter available chlorine is recommended for dealing with biohazardous spillage and the presence of large amounts of organic matter. Sodium hypochlorite solutions such as domestic bleach generally contain 50 grams per liter available chlorine and should therefore be diluted to about 1 to 50 or 1 to 10 to obtain final concentrations of 1 gram per liter or 5 grams per liter, respectively. Carefully pour the leca into the diluted solution, ensuring all the leca clay balls are submerged. Let it soak for about 30 minutes. The bleach will effectively kill most microorganisms during this time. The WHO recommend a contact time of 30 minutes when disinfecting items contaminated with biologic materials like body liquids. I reckon if 30 minutes is good enough for humans for disinfection, it's good enough for plants. After soaking, drain the bleach solution and rinse the leca thoroughly with clean water. Rinse it multiple times, at least 3 to 5 times, to ensure all the bleach residue is removed. Any residual bleach can be harmful to your plants. The advantages of this method is that bleach is generally inexpensive and readily available, and it's a highly effective disinfectant against a wide range of pathogens. The disadvantages are that bleach, of course, is a harsh chemical. Handle it with care and be sure to wear old clothes. Bleach does require a thorough rinsing of the leca to avoid plant damage, and it can erode certain materials over time. Personally, I tend to avoid bleach because it's easy to accidentally damage my clothes or any other item, so I just don't use bleach. However, if you use it cautiously and you rinse thoroughly, it can be a powerful tool for disinfecting your leca. Method number 3, baking in an oven. If you're looking for a chemical-free way to sanitize your leca, baking it in the oven is a great option. High heat is a proven method for killing bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms. First, preheat your oven to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. Spread the leca out in a single layer on a baking sheet and bake for 30 minutes. The heat will effectively denature the proteins and disrupt the cellular structures, eliminating the harmful pathogens. Research shows that most bacteria and fungi can't survive prolonged exposure to temperatures above 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. At 200 degrees Fahrenheit, proteins within the microbes begin to get damaged. They lose their shape and their functions, and this leads to cell death. Basically, the microorganisms die. This temperature is also effective at killing most fungal spores and other pathogens most commonly found in soil and growing media. So after 30 minutes, remove the leca from the oven and allow it to cool completely before using it again. The biggest advantage of this method is that it's chemical-free and there's no need for harsh disinfectants. It's simple and straightforward and is effective against a wide range of organisms. It also helps to dry out the leca, reducing the risk of future contamination when the leca is stored. During the baking process, the leca might release a slight odor. So ensure there's good ventilation in your kitchen. The problem is it does require access to an oven, and there is a fair bit of energy consumed in this process. While baking is a convenient and effective method, it might not be the best choice for heavily contaminated leca. If you notice a very strong smell or you suspect significant organic matter buildup on your leca, consider using a stronger cleaning method like boiling. Boiling. If your leca is heavily soiled or you suspect it's harboring stubborn pathogens, boiling is one of the most thorough cleaning methods. High temperatures are incredibly effective at denaturing proteins, destroying proteins, disrupting the cellular membranes of the organisms, making sure that the bacteria, fungi, and their spores are inactive. To boil your leca, use a large pot made of stainless steel or enamel, as these materials are less likely to leach chemicals into the water. Carefully pour in your leca, add water, bring the pot to a rolling boil. Allow the leca to boil for about 10 to 15 minutes or even longer. This extended boiling time ensures that the heat penetrates the porous leca and reaches all potential hiding spots for microorganisms. The high temperature disrupts their cellular structures, effectively killing them. After boiling, carefully drain the hot water and rinse the leca thoroughly with cool, clean water. This will remove any debris that was loosened during the boiling process and cool down the leca to a safe temperature for handling. At this stage, I like to put my leca back onto the soil sieve and run cool, clean water through. And if there's any roots or any organic matter that's been dislodged, that goes down the drain as that water is going through that leca. The advantages of boiling is that I think it's the most effective method for heavy contamination and biofilm removal. It will just get rid of any organic matter that's on your leca. The high temperatures kill a wide range of microorganisms, including bacteria, fungi, viruses, and the spores of the fungi. It's a relatively inexpensive and easily accessible method. If you're dealing with stubborn grime or want to ensure complete sterilization, boiling is the way to go. The recommended boiling time of 10 to 15 minutes for leca is a balance between effective sterilization and minimizing potential damage to the clay balls and effective use of energy. But like I said, you can boil your leca for longer than 15 minutes. Research shows that most vegetative bacteria and fungi are killed within minutes at boiling temperature, which is 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. However, some bacterial spores can be more resistant. Studies have shown that a 10-minute boil is sufficient to kill most common bacterial spores, including those of Clostridium difficile and Bacillus. While longer boiling might offer slightly more sterilization, the marginal benefit is often outweighed by the potential drawbacks. While leca is generally heat resistant, prolonged boiling can weaken its structure. The clay can become more brittle, leading to increased breakage and fragmentation over time. This can reduce the leca's effectiveness as a growing medium. Boiling water for extended periods consumes unnecessary energy. A 10 to 15-minute boil is sufficient for sterilization while minimizing energy use. The recommended boiling time for sterilizing baby bottles and other feeding equipment is typically 10 minutes, as this is considered sufficient to kill most harmful pathogens. Many canning recipes recommend boiling water baths for 10 to 15 minutes to ensure food safety. Now that our leca is thoroughly sanitized, it's crucial to cool it down before using it with plants. The sudden temperature change, if used immediately with plants, can shock the delicate roots and cause plant death. The easiest way to cool down leca is by rinsing it under cool running water. The cold water will rapidly absorb the heat from the clay balls, bringing their temperature down to a safe level for plant use. Ensure the leca is completely cool to the touch before using it. You can test this by gently touching a few leca clay balls with your bare hands. If they feel comfortable, they're ready to be used for your plants. Now that our leca is clean and cool, it's time to dry and store it. The simplest method is air drying. Spread the leca out on a clean towel or tray in a single layer to allow for maximum airflow. Depending on the humidity levels, it might take a few days for the leca to dry completely. Once dry, store it in a breathable container like a mesh bag or a container with holes to prevent moisture buildup and potential contamination.